Okay, recording is started.
It started.
Okay, please confirm my screen is also visible.
Yes, it is visible, Sagar.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Thanks for joining the day one series of 20 use cases for 10 days. Let me just share the PPT. Yes. Yes. So, welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So, I know people has joined from different regions across the globe. So thanks very much for joining our session. So today, the agenda is to just go with 20 use case scenarios, which is a learning sprint. It starts at September 16th today, and it's ends at like September 27th. It's around for 10 days, and daily we will try to cover at least a couple of cases. If not, based on the time limit, we'll try to go with at least one case. So these cases, what we are trying to go is something we have gathered from different sources where people are trying to face some sort of challenges, and also in terms of when people try to uh, go for different entries and all. So we have seen that these were the common sort of scenarios that were coming across. So that's the reason we thought of just going with those things. And all. So without much delay, I will just try to introduce about myself. I'm Saikiran from Delhi, having overall 7 years. Pradeep, can you just go on mute, please?
Sorry, Sagar.
No issues. No issues. Uh, Yeah, speaking on myself, I'm Kiran, having overall 7+ years of experience with IT industry and around 4 to 5 years of experience working on RPA, more specifically on UiPath. So I'm presently working as senior software engineer at Dignity Hyderabad, and also I'm an active UiPath community member from last 3 to 4 years. And coming about my accomplishments from UiPath, I've been nominated as MVP for the year 2024, and also I've been a certified advanced UiPath developer as well as test automation engineer too. So these were a few things I just want to share across myself. Yes, Pradeep, I think you can share or introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. Pradeep here. So I got UiPath MVP award for past 2 years as a 2023 and 24. And I got multiple awards for the hackathons. I have participated in AI at Work hackathon and generative AI plus specialized AI hackathon in the earlier. And I got certified in UiPath advanced developer and solution architect. And I have completed the AI specialized AI certification also. Thanks, Sagar.
That's great to hear. And we also have other person, Patrudu. Can you just introduce about yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Kiran. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining today with us. And myself, Patrudu, and I'm having more than 9 years of experience and close to 7 years is on RPA implementations using UiPath. And currently, I'm working with Edge Technologies as an associate architect. And this year, I was awarded with UiPath MVP for the product category test suite. And also, I'm certified and I lead the Vizag chapter UiPath community. Um, yep. So yeah, that's from my side. Thanks everyone. Yeah, Kiran.
Yes. So this is most important update. We just want to go ahead before starting our particular series and all, and also we just want to highlight a few things before start of our particular series. It's a 10 day series, and we have some awards and recognition a part of this particular series and all. So you can have around like 10 to 11 sort of prizes or sort of recognitions we thought of giving as part of this particular series. First thing is we want to go with the best use case scenarios where there will be 5 people nominated for this thing. Each person will be awarded $70 your path swag vouchers. You can directly get it from the you can directly get it from the UiPath. Will be responsible for making it delivered to you. And also this other two sort of prizes for $40 for individuals who shows exceptional participations throughout the initiative and all. So nothing but most engaged participants and all. And also we have a partner for this particular event, which is Hyperautomation-ai. So they are also providing four goodies who are trying to be active on the LinkedIn with some sort of hashtags and all. So just trying to shout, being just shout out saying that hey, we have given a session or we have attended a session, and this is what we have learned of this particular session and all. So nothing to highlight on other things. And all the winners will be featured in the community newsletter. Yeah, this is one of the biggest thing we can say. Whoever we are trying to select, like top 10 to 11 persons will also be there in the community newsletter. So community newsletter is shared across all the persons across the globe. Let's say you are a community member for the UiPath. So I see around like more than uh, 2 lakh to 3 lakh people who are also part of this wide community and all. So you're also will be listed in this community newsletter. So, and as we said, like there were also exciting goodies from the Hyper Automation AI team, which is also a partner for this particular 10 days event. Yes. So that is what we just want to highlight. Only criteria for this particular things is you should be you should be able to complete the foundation series from certification from the UiPath Academy. And the second thing is you need to join all the 10 sessions. We will just try to monitor the things in the background, hey, whether you have joined the sessions or not. And also, you should also have the access to the orchestrator because initial 5 to 6 days or 7 days, we try to go with the basic things. If you also have the access to the orchestrator, that will be much appreciated thing. So timelines for this particular thing, the challenge will take place, which already discussed, from 16th September to September 27th, with the daily weekdays, only Monday to Friday, and again second week which starts from Monday to Friday. So total 10 days and deadlines for submission after each session. So we'll also will provide you the forum links where you can also just do the same solutions, or you can try out different approach for the design what we are trying to go with the use case and all. And based on the best outcome, we will try to just select the people and provide the awards and recognition, which we already discussed. 5 people will get $70 voucher, 2 people will get $40 voucher, and also four goodies from the UiPath, high production AI team and all. So that's the timelines and the submissions, how you can submit and all these things. After each session, you are encouraged to submit your complete challenge, use case to dedicated thread and all. So we'll try to create the dedicated thread and all. So this will allow for community feedback. Nothing but we have a team who will try to just assess your sort of approach or the design what you have followed and all. So what we say is like prepare for the exciting learning opportunity. So this is an opportunity where we try to showcase something more on the practical approach rather than going you or walking you through the slides and all. So mostly we will not try to go with the slides and all. We will try to just go with everything in terms of UiPath Studio and all. So only request is we look forward to seeing your creativity and expertise in action. So we want to embark you on this journey together and push the boundaries of what's possible and all. Another thing is you can also request some sort of use cases which you face or feel challenging, so that we will also see if we can just try it out from our end also. If the team has selected the particular use case, we can also just go through those things and all, right? So without much delay, I'll just whatever I was trying to speak, I'll try to just make you a walkthrough where you can just submit your use case in all these things or submit your things. So this is the thread which we thought of starting here. So this is the thread where you can just post your other queries related to the particular series, where you can say that, hey, I want this particular use case to be presented in the series. So you can just comment out or reply to this particular thread, which can help us picking up that particular use case. Okay, so I'll also provide that in the chat window, which can help you out going other things. Okay, so I've also provided in the chat window, and also you can join the particular WhatsApp group where we have posted in the chat window, which can help you out if you're already there. Okay, you can receive the updates and all. So if not, just try to join, which can help you out with more specific information and all these things. Okay, so that is a few things we just want to highlight presently. And without much delay, let me just jump into our actual agenda here. So we are trying to consider two use cases as part of the particular learning series for the day one. So first thing is where we are trying to target something on the wearables concept. So we'll start it from the scratch. It's not that only wearables. It's not about regex or string operations. We will also try to cover scenarios like Excel, database, email, and also RE framework scenarios, which can also be covered in terms of data tables, link queries. We also try to cover something, a basic part related to AI center document understanding and the testing also. So out of all these 10 days, you will start it from the scratch, and you can see scenarios a bit complex or the medium complexity, not very much complex, because we cannot cover those scenarios in the time frame of what we are actually supposed to go with, right? So first case scenario, I'll try to explain you. Uh, First thing is to just get some validations on the variables, and second case is to just get the account numbers from the patient insurance records and all, using the regex and all. I'll have a walkthrough on these things detailed level. So fine. So let me just open the use case one. Okay, fine. So what is the use case one which was talking about that? So use case one for the day one is usage of collection variables, or we can say like variables. So use case is something shopping list with the discount and tax calculation. Okay. Object two is to create a workflow that calculates the total cost of items in a shopping list, applying discounts and taxes to each item based on specific conditions. The workflow should be used different types of variables, and we need to consider thing is that when you are trying to talk about this were the inputs. Okay, so if you can see, this were the inputs, but as per the requirement, they're saying that we need to use a single type of a variable to store these particular values. Okay, so how we can achieve this? Let's say that if it's a list variable, I can say that okay, this is one element item, or this is the second item, or the third item, and the fourth item, or the fifth item, right? But for me, it is something, it's a single item, right? But how can you store all these values in a single item, in a single type variable and all? So how can I achieve that? So if it's a dictionary, yes, we can do that. So we can consider that this as a key and this as values. So every time what we try to do is we try to create a dictionary variable which is of key value pair. But now we also try to see that this is a key values pair. So it's not a single value. So you have multiple values for this particular key, right? So apples is the key. For the apple, this is the units, nothing but 3 units. This is per dollar, right? It's like 2 units, 10% discount and 5% tax, right? So this is the second element. This is the key, and these were the values, right? So what you need to achieve is in the message box, you need to write two things. So one is before tax, and another is after the tax. So let me just take a small, what I can say, document to just help you understand the scenarios. So what we have is basically key value pairs, key value pair. Okay. So what is the key here? So let's say Apple is the key. Okay. So what are the other things we have here? So values we have is something unit. Okay. So we have unit price. Okay. So we have uh, discount, and we have something called as tax, right? And we need to print in the message box calculating values before tax and after the tax total amount, right? So first thing is, let's take a small example here. So I need to calculate this thing, how I would try to do this thing. Let's say that I have two units and I have a unit price as 20 and the discount is 10%. Okay. And let's say the tax is 10%. So how can I calculate this thing? So first of all, what I need to do is find out the unit price uh, after applying the discount, right? So how can I do that? So first thing what I need to do is, I'm just trying to show you how I was trying to apply the same thing in your path. First thing I'll try to do, I'll try to calculate discounted price. So how can I calculate that thing? So you'll use a formula which says that, so what is the unit price? Unit price minus unit price into discount by 100. So this is the formula. So applying this thing, we know that unit price is 20 minus. So what is the unit price again? It's 20 into. So what is the discount? It's 10 by 100. So what you will get is, after just doing a small calculation, so it is something like 20 minus 2, which is basically 18, right? So this is the first calculation you will try to perform. So you know the discounted unit price, right? So we will try to see all the steps in the path also, but manually I'm just trying to show this thing. Second thing is, we'll try to calculate uh, total cost before the tax. So what is the total cost? It is nothing but discounted unit price. It's discounted unit price into the units. So we have something like 18 into, we have only two units, right? So which is comes around 36. So third thing is nothing but we need to calculate the tax. So the tax is calculated in such a way that it's after the tax, right? So we need to calculate for the total amount, nothing but 36 into the tax here. It's 10%, right? 10 by 100. So it comes around 3.6 rupees, right? So finally, after the tax, it's basically uh, 36 plus 3.6, which comes under 39.6. So final price is 36 plus 39. I'm like 3.6. So basically, you're trying to get 39.6 as an outcome, right? So this is what we are trying to achieve here. So finally, you will print in the message box the value which is before tax is 36 and after tax is 39.6. So these were the two values you will be able to print. But our challenge lies in trying to store these values in the dictionary variable. So when you are trying to store multiple values, we can use a variable called as tuple. we have different types of variables, right? Like how we have a string, integer, uh, we have double because it's trying to show store some all these things. So in the similar, or the decimal values, in the similar way, we have something called a tuple where it can store a defined number of items here. So you will be able to store these four values in the pair here, in the key value pairs. So in the values, you will store all these four as a tuple type, right? So let's try to achieve the same thing using UiPath. So this is the first use case scenario we just thought of showcasing, and we have seen that it's been asked in a couple of interviews too. And the second case is we you will have uh, some data. This is the input file. Okay, so in the input file you can see that there are multiple account numbers. But we need to extract only the last account number here. So if you can see here in the last account number, you have something called 3049 as per the input here, but we have a different input. And every time it is accomplished by a prefix called as account number, which is again case sensitive. We can also make it case sensitive and we can just try to do that. So I'll show you the input file also. So this is your input file. So this is your input file. So from this input file, you can see that there were 7 instances of account numbers. Okay, so first we'll try to just read the text file, then try to write some regex, try to print all the account numbers. After which we'll try to see how to get the last account number, right? So these were the things we thought of showcasing for the second use case scenario, which covers concept related to regex here. Yes, there were lots of scenarios we can cover, but these were some commonly used case scenarios which we have gone through and all. Okay, fine. Finally, without much delay, let me jump into your path. So first of all, how you can create? Yes, we already know your path. This is where you can launch your. Once you launch your application, this is the place where you will try to create the process and all. So I'm trying to create a process, so by just clicking on the process here, which I already created. So I was there on this particular page and all. uh, Basically, when we are talking about variables, what a variable actually does. So variables are nothing but a storage place which can hold some value inside your computer and all, or else in your program and all. So it's nothing but a storage unit where it can store some values. It can be a single value or it can be multiple value. It can be of different data types and all, right? So that is what we try to do. So where you can create a variables, yes, you can just go to the variable panel. This is where you can just try to create the variables by just providing the name, variable type, scope, and the default values. So this is how you can create, and the shortcut key for creating variables is Control K. So you can also create a variable by just passing those things. So this is what you need to know about variables. It's if it's a string, it's enclosed between double quotes. If it is an integer, it's a data type of int and all those things, right? So now I'm trying to create a variable which is of dictionary, right? And also I've said it's a key value. It's not a key value pair, it's a key values pair, right? So if you can see based on the input here, so it has values which can be discounted, like it can be like double values and all, and this is something units can be integer. So this can be an integer, and this will be basically your double values. So you'll have three double values, and this is an integer, and this is your key, which is basically a string, right? So how can I create this particular type of a variable? So I'll go to variables. I'll try to create a variable. So it says dictionary underscore var. So here the variable type I'm just trying to change here. So I need to go for browse for types. So here I'll try to search for something called as dictionary. Okay. So under the dictionary we have the key value pair here, right? So here I'm trying to select that the key is basically a string, but the value is basically a not a string. I'm trying to make it a tuple. So again, inside this, I'm trying to search for something called as a tuple. Right. So in the tuple type of variable, you can see that you can have a single value, two values, three values, and four values, or five, and you can just keep on increasing. But as per my scenario, the number of values that should be held in this particular variable is four, because it is unit price, discount, and the tax. So these were the four values. So I've selected this thing. So again, you need to select inside this. So what are the values? It's an integer, it's a double. I'm trying to just store all the values, right? So I've just created my variable, which is of string and a tuple type, and the tuple will hold the values of integer, double, nothing but three doubles and an integer and a string, right? So this is my scenario. So challenge here is to just store all the values in a single variable. So I was able to achieve the same thing using a dictionary type, which is key is a string and a value is basically a tuple which is holding multiple data types involved. Okay. So now the challenge lies in creating an assign here. Nothing but we need to just provide some values to this particular dictionary variable, right? So how these values? So I need to define the variable here. So it is basically new dictionary of basically your key is basically a string comma. So other thing is tuple, right? Tuple. So in the tuple, it is again what types of integer, comma double, comma double. Okay. So we have declared these things, and we need to provide the values. So when you're trying to create, we need to provide this thing. We need to store the values, right? So when you're trying to store a string and a tuple, so I'm trying to create a tuple here. So I'm trying to create a tuple. So I'm trying to create the values with the tuples here. Uh, so first I have units, right? So I'll say that I have two units. So I'll have 20 as unit price, 20.0 as unit price, and I'll say 10% as the discount, and also 10% as 10% as the tax. Okay. And here I need to provide what is the item I'm trying to go with, right? So these were the things I just provided, but it's still showing an error. Let me adjust. Here we have an auto fix feature which can help us. Hey, if you have done something wrong, this is where you can do correction of your items. Okay. So it's not only one item I'll try to go with, I'll just provide another couple of items. So if you want more items, you just need to provide comma. And I'm just trying to add other values also here. So I'll say oranges, tuple dot create. You have five items here. The unit price is 10. The discount is 5. Okay, and also the tax is basically 10%. Let's keep it like this. And also you need to add another element, keep a comma. And finally I want to just go with the last element. Let's say I want to add kiwi. Okay. So the unit price is, let's say, 50. And I want I want 50 units, and the unit price is 10, and we'll just keep it as like 2 as discount, 2%, and 10% as tax. add comma because it's the last element, and you can see here it's already fixing the things. Let's say I've done something mistake here. You can see here it's saying a lot of things. Hey, this is what you need to fix. But I was not able to fix. It's the one of the powerful feature here we have in the latest features of 2024.4 and all. So now I just simply click on auto fix. I was not able to know what's the error basically. I need not hit my brain to just see what was the issue and all. Yeah, it was automatically removing errors for us, right? So no need to worry on these particular things. If you are not aware also, yes, it's totally fine because we are having autopilot features included in your studio and all these things, right? So now I was able to create these things. Now other challenge lies in trying to extract these particular values. How I can extract these values, right? So this is called as item 1, this is called as item 2, this is called as item 3, and this is called as item 4. So you will be able to understand these things. So let's say that I was trying to extract item 1 values. First I'll try to use a for each and try to get these things, and we'll try to jump into our particular logic, right? uh, so the item 1 is nothing but 2 5 150. I need to just print those values. How I can do that? Okay, so now I already have my dictionary variable. I'm just trying to assign to this particular dictionary variable. Yeah, that's done. So now I want to utilize a for each. In the for each I will try to just say that I want to just retry it through dictionary variable. So before that, let me just see if you have any queries. So can we get the use case documents you are planning to us? Yes, you will get those things. So can we get the recording? Yes, you will be having the recordings on the same link. Can we use dictionary value as a list of string? Yes, we can use that. Uh, can we get the recording? Yes, you can get that. Is this autofix available in community edition? Yes, I'm using the community edition only. So whatever I'm trying to provide, it's a community edition. If you can see in the home, it's a community edition only, right? Yes. So now, so if you can see here, the argument item type, it's lot of big number, big value. I'm just trying to change it to item just to make it simpler. The item inside this particular dictionary variable. So what I'll do is I'll just drag a message box to get the unit price, right? So how to get the unit price? So as I said that you are trying to iterate through each item. From that you are trying to get the values. So you're trying to get the value. So in that what you're trying to get, I'm trying to get the item 1 here. Since we have item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, it will be automatically listed here. But since I'm just trying to see what is the item here, okay, I'm trying to get the item here. So just to showcase that, oh, hey, how you can get the items here. So just run the file. So in the first loop, you'll get the value as 2, second loop as 5, third loop as 50 or 10, whatever the value we have it in the initial item ones. So we have value getting printed as 2, value getting printed as 5, value getting printed as 50. Yes. So now we know the logic how to actually extract the values, multiple values, which is created as a tuple here. Okay. So we know that particular logic. So as we seen that, so as per the steps what we have earlier gone through. So this is what I'm trying to achieve here. First of all, I want to calculate the discounted price, then the unit price and the final tax and the final price after the tax, and print it in the message box, right? So this is what we will try to cover here. So let me just delete the message box. Okay, fine. So what I'll use is I'll use a multiple assign. Okay, so I'm just trying to drag and drop the multiple assigns. So I need to create a four type of variables. So first of all, I'll try to get the discounted price of the item, right? So it's a double value, double underscore discounted price. Okay, so this is my first variable. So variable type will be basically double. Okay, so this is my value. So first thing, so now I need to calculate the process, right? So how you can do that? We already know that there's the formula we need to go with to get the discounted price. uh, so unit price is 20, so 20 minus 20 into discounted price. So 10% is discount, so zero zeros and this zeros get cancelled and you will remain with 2. So 20 minus 2 is 18, right? This is the formula. So let me get these things. We know that this is the item 1, this is the item 2, this is item 3, and this is item 4. So you need nothing but item 2 minus item 2 into item 3 minus tax, and by 100, right? So I'll just apply this same formula. So first of all, I need to get the item dot value dot item 2 minus the same value we need to provide. First of all, we are trying to get the discounted price, which is into discount price is basically item 3, right? Item 3 by 100. Okay, so this is the formula we just try to utilize. So first of all, we have got our discounted price. Okay, so second value we are trying to get is total cost before the tax. So I'll create another variable, so double underscore total price. Okay, so this is my second variable. So it's variables of type double. So what is the formula for the second thing? Total price is basically discounted price into number of units, right? So what is the number of units? Basically it's in the first one, item dot value dot item 1 into the number of units. So it's the double of discounted price. So it's basically like 18 into 2, 36. So this is what your value before the tax. So now I want to calculate something called as tax. So double, which is basically total tax. So the tax is applied on what? On the total price, right? So make sure that it's changed to double. Okay. And the formula is basically a double underscore total price. This is what the thing it is, into the discount, sorry, into the tax. So what is the tax? It's basically stored in item dot value dot item 4 by 100. Okay, so this is where your final tax comes into picture. Okay, so finally you will create a variable which will say that, hey, this is your total price after the tax. So the variable type is basically double. So how can you just make sure that the things are done after the tax? Is basically you are trying to add the total price on the total tax. So double total price plus double dot total tax. Right. So we have done all the calculations here. So first one is to calculate the discounted price, the total price after the for the each discount, the total tax price after the tax. So this is before tax and this is after the tax. So we have done it in a single thing. And as per our particular logic or the requirement in the message box, we need to print two values. So total value total amount before tax plus, so we need to provide the double value, right? Double total price. So since it's a string and it's a double, we need to convert that to string. Okay. And we are trying to just say that, hey, print me in the new line. So I'll try to go with an environment dot new line plus, okay, it's a plus, and it is basically total amount after the tax. Total amount after the tax, right? So after the tax, what is the price? Is basically double total price tax. Okay. So since it's a double, try to convert to string. Yes, your error is there. Remove. See, I was not aware. I was not aware that it's a double and it's a string. I was not able to do that. I've just gone through this thing. It says that, hey, your string cannot be converted into double, and you're trying to do these things. I was not aware. Just simply click on autofix. So your values are automatically corrected here. So the two string is automatically added, right? I was not able to do that earlier. I was not aware, but you can still achieve the same thing. So what happens is like your development efforts will be uh, maximized with a minimum sort of time frame and all, right? So this is the requirement, and this is what I just want to achieve here. The simple thing, I just created a dictionary variable which is of string and tuple type. I have been iterating through these things. I've utilized a multiple assign to assign all the values required for my logic, and I've just done this thing. So it's basically two activities, and inside this, it's multiple activities. So let me just try to run the file, see what happens. So the first one, we already know that it's 36 and 39.6. Yes, we have achieved the same values. It's 36 rupees before the tax and 39.6 rupees after the tax, because we have provided the same values. Two units, it's of 20 rupees, and it's of 10% discount and 10% tax. So after doing all the calculations, this is what we are trying to achieve here, right? So since you are trying to store multiple decimal values, yes, we are trying to achieve the same thing here, right? So this is a simple use case where we try to achieve the concept of utilizing the variables, and this is what and how we have achieved the same thing, right? So we'll also it's not that this is the same process you can follow to achieve the same use case or the same task. You can also go with a different approach. I've been utilizing these things. Yes, you can also write the logics in different way. So we just want to make sure that, hey, how um, people are trying to apply these things and all. We also appreciate you to just follow the same approach, or a different approach. You can just make sure that you can also go with a different approach and all, right? So let me just see if we have any queries in the between. Environment dot new line, can you explain? Yes, it's something like you're trying to print it in a new line. So if you are not utilizing this environment dot new line, so what happens is all the values will be there on the same line. Okay. So since I'm trying to utilize environment dot new line in the message box, you'll have these things. Let me just remove this thing to showcase what's difference basically. Okay, let me just save this, try to run the file again. See here, it's all printing in the same line, right? But earlier it was trying to print in the multiple lines. So the same thing can be achieved by just writing simply your VB expression. Since we have created a project in the VB, so it's a VB Windows project. So what I'll do is I'll utilize even VB CRLF also can be utilized. It's also which is the function or a VB function which will help you to write in the new line. So earlier I have utilized environment and new line. So that's the reason I'm saying, right? It's not same thing you can follow. You can follow multiple design approaches, but this is the approach we can just follow. Yes, the same thing I've said, right? VBCRL can also be utilized. Yes, right. So this is the simple use case. Only the cat here is just utilize tuple here, and how you are able to just carefully call the values, multiple values, and just achieve your end outcome here. It might be very simple, I can say, but the thing is that once you try to start developing this particular code, you will face multiple issues. I promise this thing, because when somebody has given this particular task, initially I was just trying to get these values and all. It's a learning curve. Everything is a learning curve. You need to learn these things. Yes. So let me just jump into the second use case. Second use case is to just get the account numbers from the multiple from the same what I can say text file, but it's there in multiple locations. But I want to get the last account number. You don't know how many instances of account number it might be. It might be 10, 20, 30 account numbers in the same document. But I want to achieve only the last account number. How we can achieve the same? Let me just open the input file here. This is your input file. So if you can see, there are lots of instances where you have the account number. So my case is to just have a prefix of account number and extract the particular values. Okay, so you can see there were 7 instances. You have this particular values. First of all, let's try to read the file, try to extract the values by using a regex expression, and try to get the last value, right? So let me just try to jump into our logic here. I'll create a new sequence, so which will try to talk about the regex underscore 3. So I'm just trying to create what I can say this particular logic. First of all, I want to read a text file. So I'll try to read the text file, drag and drop the activity. So here I need to provide the input here. So I know that my input was basically on the desktop. Uh, Use cases. So on this we have the use case input file. I'll share the input file also. So we are creating a thread. Once it's created, we will try to post it in the WhatsApp groups. That's the reason we are trying to suggest you to go with the following of WhatsApp group if you're not following. Okay, so let me open the text file. Yes, we have opened the text file. After reading where it will be stored, yes, it will be stored in a variable. So just type tab. You will create a file automatically called file content. Okay, this is my file content. So let me just use the message box to see that hey, everything is reading or not. Just for a proper understanding. So I'll say like hey, I just want to see what's the file content that's been read. Okay, so let me just quickly run the file. So we can see that hey, lots of data is getting read. So fine, whatever I'm trying to achieve, it's trying to be the same. So now I need to write the regex expression, right? So I'll try to just go with the regex. So find matching patterns. So this is your input, right? Basically, so it's best advised to every time copy your input, just place it in your test text. You're trying to test some text here, right? So I know that this is my total input, but I require this particular data. So this is my data items. But I can say that every time before this particular data item, I have something called as a a key value called as account number, which is basically a literal value. So you can write multiple regex functions here. The first logic I'm trying to say that, hey, you are trying to have something called account number. So what happens? The account number is getting highlighted. So whatever the logic I'm trying to say, it's properly working fine. After which I'm saying that, hey, it's a digit. Okay, I'm trying to get some digit. But how many digits you're trying to get? Hey, I'm trying to get 10 digits exactly. So this is the values you're trying to extract, right? So here what I can say is the total match is account number and also your 10 digit number. So you need to be cautious in trying to extract only this particular number. How we can do that? Yes, we can do that. I'll show you. But before that, I'll say that, hey, I have something called email address which needs to be captured. So how I can do that? So I'll try to simply say that I have something called hyper automation. I just say that info underscore hyphen auto hyper AI at the rate gmail.com. Okay. So this is the email I want to extract basically. So what you can do is you have something called in the regex which will say that, hey, I want to extract email. Yes, you are able to extract the email here. So or else you have different functions here. You can also get the US phone number if you have it. If you can also get the date. You can also write some advanced function. It's not only starting or ending. It's a digit or a character. Yes, you can write multiple things. But as per my scenario here, I just want to get only the account number. So I'll just go with the similar approach. Hey, I want to get some data which is starting with account number. Okay. And I just want to go with digit, which is basically your 10 digit number. Okay. So these were the two things I just want to cover as part of my scenario. Fine. So this is the regex basically. Fine. So I have got the value. So basically you are trying to search a text from which the file content. So where you are trying to store the result, I'm trying to store the result in variables called array underscore account numbers. Okay. So now I'll try to go with the utilization of for each. So I'll simply drag and drop the for each. In the for each, I'm trying to go with the iteration of my array type number. I'm like the account number. So if you can see, it will be INumerable match, which is again a collection type. So collection type is nothing but holding multiple values, right? So I'm trying to repeat this thing. So it says that the item is basically the current batch. So what I'll do is I'll just simply see how many account numbers I was able to get. Okay. So current match is what I'm trying to print. So if you want to understand how many account numbers are there extracted, let's say, so you can simply say account numbers dot count. Okay. So which will give you the count of account numbers that was there in the particular Excel file. So let me just save. See if we have any queries here. How to able to join the group? Yes, we have provided this. Can we get that input file? Yes, you will get the input files. Everything recordings, everything will be I'm like shared across. Fine. So now I was talking about getting the account numbers count and also getting the current match. Okay. So let me just save this all. I'll try to just do a small modification here. So in this account number, I'll try to make it case sensitive. So instead of capital A account number, I have just changed it to small a and small n. So let me see if you are able to get this account number or not. So if not, we'll try to do the modifications. So let me try to run the file. So basically it says that okay, yeah, there were 7 account numbers and these were the account numbers. So it's 2039 3049 4059. So you can see it's 506997. So it's 60798 and it's 708999260. That's great. So though I have changed my account number in the text file prefix as a small case, and but here you have a capital case, still it was able to do that. But in some requirements, you say that hey, I just want to get only the account number. If it is having only capital A and capital N, and this is the thing, how you can do that? So you simply need to go with the matching patterns, and you have something called ignore case, right? So I'll disable these things. So I'll just save the file, try to run the file. So instead of getting 7 account numbers, you will get only 6 account numbers now. See here, it's only trying to provide only 6 account numbers, but earlier I have something called as 7 account numbers, right? But you can see here you're getting the total account number and the 10-digit number. So as I said that in the regex expression, whatever you have written, you're trying to say that this is a prefix starting with account number semicolon and then with this particular value. So you can also get only the particular group by just specifying here. So how can I get the group here? um, I can just say like a dot group of 1. So this is the matching pattern dot value. Okay. So now if you can see, if I try to run the file, so it's 6, but you will get only the account numbers now. So I'm trying to get the account numbers. So I'm trying to just say it like case so that hey, everything is as expected for us. I mean, like though it's a small case, uppercase, everything, I just want to go. Okay. So just save this and try to run the file. So it has 7 values. It's also considering the match case so that you are able to get the things. Now my requirement is to get the last value, right? So how to get that? So we know that it's if it's in something called as a collection variable, you can get the first element by just passing the index as 0. Or if you know like the last element, you can just pass the indexes the last element. Like you have 7 elements, the index would be 6, but you cannot hard code the values here, right? So how to get this thing? Because already we know the count, we can just provide this count minus 1, which can be achievable. But I'll just use a small catch here to just get the first element. Okay. So how can I get this element here? So I'll say it's the first element. First of all, I just want to get the first element dot first dot groups of 1 dot value. So I don't know whether this function works or not. It's showing an error, right? So let me just auto fix here. Let's see if it will be trying to fix my particular value. So account numbers of 0 dot groups dot value, right? So simple. No need first, second, third, all these things. Right. So let me just try to run the file. So what is the first account number here? We know that the first account number is basically this thing, but I need the last account number. So how can I achieve that? So let me see if I was getting the first account number. So yes, I was getting the first account number because In the message box, I'm trying to read only single value, right? Okay, I haven't disabled this. For which I need to disable this thing, right? So I'm just disabling this particular activity, trying to run this thing to just get the only single element. So I'm trying to get the first element here, first of all. So yes, we are getting the first element, which is what not my requirement is. Now we can just change it here in the first find matching patterns. In the pattern options, we can just change it here to right to left. So in the Arabic, let's say that your value starts from not right to left; it starts from left to right. But if you just utilize this option, what you will try to get is you will try to read the values from the bottom to the top. So let's see if I was able to achieve the same thing or not. So instead of saying that, hey, just I'm directly providing zero, right? So zero is nothing but the first element, but I'm trying to get the last element, this element, right? So let's see how we are able to achieve this thing or not. Only option I've changed is basically at the last. I've done it. So it's I was able to achieve this thing, right? So I was able to get this values from the bottom. This is at the last basically, right? So I've just changed a small feature here, pattern options, which is basically from the right to left. So this is how you can achieve the same task. This is a second use case we thought of showcasing as part of the things. So which can help you brush up some knowledge related to regex, also something that was related to utilization of getting the values of index and getting only the first element or the last element, how to utilize the count on all these things, right? So this is what we thought of showcasing as part of our particular use case day one series. Let's see if you have any other queries. So can you once repeat the regex configuration? Yes. What is the regex we try to go is basically, so this is my input, right? So I'll just delete this existing regexes, whatever we have here. Okay. So I'll just paste this data. This is my test data. So what I basically want is every time if it is having as a prefix of account number, you need to extract this 10 digit followed by the 10 digit. Okay. This is my requirement. So first of all, I know that this is the literal value. So what I'll say is, hey, anytime you see a value called which is a literal and the value is basically account number, exactly matching things. If we say these things or configure these quantifiers and all, so what will happen is it will highlight your match. This is my match, first match. Right. What is the second match which I need to go? So every time you get this thing, I need to extract this 10 digit number. I'll just add other thing. I'll say that it's a digit, but the digit is every time a 10 digit. It's not the one digit. So this is the digit. So this is how you need to make sure that, hey, whatever the rejects, it's a full expression. So whatever the rejects you're trying to achieve, this is what you are able to achieve or not. It's not only the digit. So let's say that I have something called as email, let's say. So it says that it starts with something called as email, and it says that the value is accomplished with some other values. So hyper automation AI at the rate gmail.com. Okay. So, but I want to get this number. How can I do that? I want to get this Gmail email, right? So I'll say that literally, I'm like, there might be other instance also that you have the email, okay, other place also, but I want to get any time which is saying that email. So I'll say that you have a literal value which is called as email, and you will every time pass that have you have something called as an email, right? So it's not highlighting the second email, right? It's only highlighting the first email, which says that your prefix is email. So that is how you just need to write your logics based on your requirements and all. Yeah, this is a simple one which we are trying to showcase, but there might be some complex things and all. We can definitely take help of ChatGPT, all these things. Yes, we do also utilize these things. So as per my requirement, I'm just going with my earlier thing, which says that hey, I want to extract only the account number, prefix value, and you need to go with a digit, which is basically of 10 characters. Yes, this is my requirement. This is how I build my regular expression. So whatever I'm trying to get, I was trying to store it in a variable called as array count numbers, and the variable type is enumerable match. Nothing but it's a collection variable. I'm trying to utilize the loop here to initially get all the account numbers or not. So this is how I'm trying to get the account numbers, and finally I'm trying to utilize a small value expression to just say that based on the index I want to get the first value, but I was getting the last value because I made a small change in the finding matching patterns, which states that hey, go from right to left, nothing but from bottom to top indirectly. So this is how I achieved my task here. So I'm getting the last element, nothing but the last account number which I was supposed to get. So this is what we are trying to achieve as part of the day one series. So can we perform database and email automation inside Citrix if it's complexity or easy? See, so no need to perform like what I can say, how the groups method works. Yes, I'll do that. Yeah. So can we perform database? Database is not. It's if you have the access, it's inside Citrix, outside Citrix also. You can also perform those things. See, what happens is in Citrix is basically we call as a thick client. So what is a thick client again? Thin client and thick client. Sorry. So we have concepts called thin client and thick client. Thick client is nothing but your automation tool like your path, and also your application nothing but database resides in your environment. In the same environment you are able to access it. So all is a thick client. So thin client is nothing but your automation tool was in your environment, and in other environment nothing but in the RDPs or in AWS instances or in other instances your two other application was residing. So in that case, you will be not able to get the connection between your tool and the particular application there. So everything will be considered as an image. You need to do something in terms of image using the CV activities. So everything by using clicks, by just utilizing the clipboard activities like copy, paste, everything you try to do the things, which is not much reliable and also much bit complex things and all, right? Easy thing is something you need to install this in your client environment, which is not happening because Citrix is a environment for this client security and all. They'll not try to allow the third party applications. Another thing is like you have a Citrix plugin, you can also suggest to your client stating that hey, can I just install this Citrix plugin inside this thing. If they agree, yes, you will able to get the properties. If not, you need to go with image automations. So please explain how the group method works. Basically, group method is something. This is what the groups is basically. So if I just provide the input here again, so this is your 0th group and this is your first group. So since you are trying to get only this is the first match and second this is second match. So this is the match you are trying to actually get the thing and all. So that is where we have utilized the concept of groups here. Right. Fine. I think if you have other queries, please do post. I will be happy to help you out. One more other request is to just make sure that please try to post your sort of use cases in this particular link. Simply you can just click on reply, just add your input, what is the use case you want. We can definitely help you out. And also there will be a separate thread to make sure that you will be able to join on these things and all. I'm like, just what I can say, just you develop and you provide the code there, attach the codes, and we will try to select the people, and we will try to provide the prizes based on the things. As we said that we have the awards and recognition where we'll try to nominate 11 to 10 to 11 prizes. Yes, we try to go with these things. So another small request is please do try to write a post in your social media accounts tagging Hyperautomation AI and also your community and also us, which can help us to have a wider reach. That's what we are actually doing. So just give us 1 minute. We will try to make everybody a presenter so that we can have a small group pick and we'll try to discuss from there. Patrudu, can you help us in making all the participants as groups so that we can just take a group pick?
Yep, sure. And even you can do that. So let us do it. You, me, and Pradeep, all of us can do that because we need to go to one after the other and do the moderators.
Acha,
Not
acha, acha.
do that. Yeah. Let us do
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. So what we need to do, make it as a moderator mode or a presenter mode?
moderator mode.
Okay. Yeah, we are just making you moderators. Give us 2 minutes so that everybody can switch on their cams. We can have a pick and we can just disperse from there. Pathulu, can you just put on mute once? Okay, okay. Now we see a lot of disturbance. Pathulu, if possible, just try to stop the recording. I think this is not much required.